Hello guys, this is Barry Blue here, and today this is a Yu-Gi-Oh video. And why this video is special to me, it is one of the decks I will never get to play in real life again because of the recent April ban list. And with again, it actually means I actually never get to play this deck in real life. I call it ToyBystial. Um, the thing is, why I can't play this deck anymore like it was before is because Baronne is banned and Linkkuriboh is banned, which were very good cards. Linkkuriboh especially to go into SP Little Knight, of course, and Baronne was like a safe plan about anything. So negate for, yeah, you negate you do in every deck almost, right? But before I you might think, what does this deck actually do and why is it so special? First of all, I think it is one of the most fun decks I've ever played, and I will come right into it how it works. So first we have the toy cards, which are these three. These are currently only released in the OCG, but which should release in June in the Battle of Legends set. So we have Toy Box, Toy Soldier, and Toy Tank. And how does this work? We have Toy Box, which is like your kind of starter. It doesn't work only with toy box, so you need usually one more card to work. But if you activate toy box effect, you can set 2 toy monster in your spell and trap zone, which will be usually 1 soldier and 1 tank. And it has a second effect where you can destroy 2 spell and traps you control, up to 2. And these effects are not once per turn, so if you use one effect, if you have 2, you can use both attacks and utilize that in this way. So what does Toy Soldier do? Toy Soldier on summon, it can search your toy box, or if you have toy box already on the field, you can search a level 4 light. Anything you want. Pretty good, I guess. Of, and then we have Tank. He doesn't do too much. Um, you can tribute him to special summon a level 6 or lower monster from your hand, or if you have toy box, you can even special summon from the grave. And the thing is, both of these monsters, if they get sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, they can special summon themselves once per turn. So this is one thing. And to utilize these effects pretty good, I use souls. And to get access to souls, I have either Herald, which sends the Synchro Herald to grave, which gives you illusion, and illusion gives you souls. And if you summon souls, you first get your illusion in grave, of course, which also activates your Bista lineup. But if you have swords and toy box, you set 2 of your monsters, you can send them to grave. Try to get to draw 2 new cards, which usually should be ashed or impermed, because the 2 cards could mean a lot, but it doesn't always stop you. And then these 2 get destroyed or sent to grave and can special summon themselves. So you have 2 new monsters on board. Soldier can search you a level 4 light or toy box, and the light target would be either, if you want to, you can add one of the toys, or you can search the Baronne Buster, or you can search another toy box, and if you want to set 2 more cards, because toy box also have the effect, if your opponent attacks, you can send one face down card you control to grave and destroy the opponent's monster. And if you have multiple, you can do it multiple times, of course. This is like one of the combos. And with Herald, you also get, of course, the Synchro lineup, which is very strong because this get level 6 by sending Herald to grave, and with Soldier, you can easily do Baronne. You have the Bestials, which give you level 6 and 8 access, I guess, which is very good. You can, of course, if you get regained, it's very strong. Sarunia here is a 2 off instead of any of the others because you want to get Lubellion engraved as fast as possible, and you can use Sarunia for to link climb. I mean, we don't really play too many links, but link it away or try other means to get into Lubellion, of course. We have the Collapse Serpent and the Baron Buster, of course, which are a few toy soldier are targets to get easily. I play 2 regain because it gives you recovery, as well as 1 beast, which can reset your regain, which is also something nice. So you can, if you have Saturn, extend regain to grave and get with Rebellion on your beast. Beast give you the regain, pretty nice. And then we have Chaos Base. Chaos Base pretty much allows you to get into either your swords combo, or like the swords part of your engine, or your dragon part of the engine, which is pretty nice because we can either add Rebellion, the illusion of chaos, or the one of the busters, which is happen less likely. And then we have 4 hand traps. For different hand traps, I would say we have, of course, Ash. Why do I play only 2 Ash? Because in the current format, I think you need more different hand traps, and this deck doesn't have that many spaces, so I choose to play only 2 Ash. I play 2 Ghost Ogre because it's a light, of course. I could also play Veiler, but I think Ghost Ogre also gives some other utility. Then I have Skullmeister, which is as a dark, pretty good. It's also level 4. So with my tall monsters, I can then go for a rank 4 Xyz if I want to. And Imperm is pretty good on its own, of course. Then the extra deck, we have Entis, which is like a target for Herald, of course, to destroy something. Super Hammer Susan Murazuru, I don't know his name even, but he's like very interesting. I think it's one of my takes, so it's only my preference, because if Herald doesn't really get its value, you can get with, and Saronia is like, or one of the biscuits in your hand, but you cannot do really much with illusion because you kind of have only hand traps in hand. This can turn out into Susanovo, Mazuravo. I don't know why I call him Susanovo, but whatever. This gives you the billion engrave, first of all, of course. If you have like regain, that could be utilized, of course. But it can allow you to draw up to 3 cards later on as well. It has a high defense attack, which is very interesting. It's not the thing you would do all the time, but it's pretty nice, I think. Then, of course, we have Disparta, Chaos Angel, pretty strong with this, of course. Then Shengwing, Baronne is a rank other level 10s. Baronne probably what you do the first, most of the time first, but now you can't. Coral Dragon, pretty interesting because it works with, if Herald gets ashed or impermed or whatever, and you get one of the toys out, you can like easily climb up, like use the Wagon Buster, get your level 6, then you can even go with the Collapse Serpent, turn it into a Disparta even, which is very nice. And it gets you a draw. Herald to search illusion, of course, with the other Herald. 2 rank 4 Xyz here. Baguska is kind of your stalling. If you have like really nothing, like you have 2 toy box and maybe only hand traps in hand, where you can at least special summon both of these, have Baguska, and your opponent most of the time either needs to have Imperm, or they need a way to get into SP Little Knight, of course. Dagusto Emerald, because it can come up where you need to recycle some stuff, but you can change them, of course. Then I have one Appaloosa because sometimes you need to get rid of monsters, and it's one of the best I think you can do. Of course, you could do also something like access codes as well, but this is like better for IP to SP because oftentimes it is possible to it is happens that you want to go for SP on your first turn already, or on the first turn. So having the second one is pretty nice. And SP works pretty well with Regained, of course, because if your opponent has a dark monster, you can shuffle that back so it doesn't reappear. And you could use SP to reset the effect of Baronne, which was very strong as well. IP and Linkkuriboh were, of course, very much IP going into SP or Appaloosa during your opponent's turn, pretty insane. But Linkkuriboh could protect Baguska from battle if your opponent can summon a Link monster, but maybe not SP Little Knight. So you have some protection. Yeah, that's it. Then a few things you could consider is Shen, but I think he's not very that great. Of course, the Exa Synchro Stardust is very strong. You can, if you go into 8, if a Herod gets negated and you have a Bestia, you can go for him, which then turns into a level 10 Synchro as well. Of course, rank 4 Xyz Dweller is, of course, also very strong in certain scenarios because it cannot really be impermed, unlike Baguska. Because if they imperm, you can just chain it, and you would wait the time where your opponent cannot imperm you. Other link ones which might be now needed are Anima. It can at least bait out also another monster, which is pretty nice, and with less negates nowadays, it could be useful. Droplet, probably one of the cards we can utilize this deck as well, because you can send your 2 monsters to grave to negate 2 cards, because I think most of the people will not know what this does. And then you can negate 2 monsters and special summon 2 with Toy Box, and then also get your search. This of course would also work with Diabellstar. Of course, you can send Soldier to grave, get Toy Box, search your stuff, send 2 more cards, use the Snake Eye card even, and do your stuff. Uh, then probably this would be interesting for level 4s. You can add this Thunder King Ryo. If you get all of these as special summon, you can do this, which basically says neither player can add cards from the deck to the hand except by drawing, and you can negate a summon by tributing him, which is pretty strong. You can also use it in the mythical, not mythical, but it's by Chimera deck, by being able to get Mirror Swordsman, which is also combo. Then technically ABC can utilize this, I guess, by destroying the Union monster. You can trigger the effects and keep going that way and also get advantage. Trickstar with the new support might be able to utilize it since they can search Candina as well. We have Lady Debug for cyber stacks. Dogmatica can use it by searching Ecclesia. And then we have like Centurion, which can search Primera. Or what's coming up in a few months is the White Forest deck, which has level 4 tuners, which can be utilized, and they can also utilize the set effect, so they can send the Toy Soldier, which is set, to grave and utilize even more this way. So these cards could be utilized with this engine. Now, this is the deck. What I wish this deck had was another monster instead of Toy Tank still. So it had another option if you needed to normal summon the soldier, of course. And that will give you another option, of course, if it had like a other effect. Now I'm gonna show you a few replays. Yeah. Here's the first replay. It is will show the basic combo of this deck. So here I started with Lubellion, thin my deck out a little bit, get my toll cards onto the field, using swords, which lets me draw 2 cards and special both my monsters back, get my serpent, summon my Lubellion over the Souvenir, Linkkuriboh, I go IP here, can recover the serpent, draw into the herald, which allows me to go for full combo right now by going into Baronne. Then I can take out the tank into the diviner, which gives me the Sparta again, and I get the second regain from grave, which is pretty strong. And here I'm battling a blue eyes player, so I banish his monster, Anima, I link away, go for SP, banish his other, his Sage, I go for SP effect, shuffle his monster back, and he gets back, and this is more than enough for game. Now, this is the second game I'm playing against a branded deck. I don't have the strongest hand, but I still can utilize it because I can access my engine. Swords and Toy Box pretty strong here. I go into IP Linkkuriboh, been able to summon Magna Mode as well here, draw into Lubellion, which is pretty strong. Um, this gives me, of course, another layer of interruption with Beast. I get Chaos Angel as well, and have double regained with Beast, which is pretty strong. Sadly, I don't have access to my usual synchro lineup, but Magna Mode should be pretty good. He looks into my hand with talent, which is, I think, was a mistake. But we will see what happens here. He activated branded, is rebranded and tried to fusion, but he could still fusion, of course. Goes for the Mirror Jade, uses the branded fusion now. He's gonna go for Dragoon. I cannot be destroyed by battle, which kinda looks like I'm gonna lose because he almost could run over me here. Um, he gets his 2 tuners on board as well, I think, right now. Yeah, I activate Druid's Realm, get his Albas, and that was pretty good. He tries to negate. We go back. In this scenario, I try to I sended the Druid's Realm to Grey for the Lubellion. Tried to target his Quam. He wanted to negate it. I chain my SP to get rid of his Cartesia in this scenario because I thought he would go for the fusion. And on the fusion, I activate my Ghost Ogre in hand, which would pop it. And with the beast, I still would destroy the Cram, so he would have only his fusions on board and had to fusion then, if possible even. But probably he could go Dagustapelia, and at that point he gave up because there was so much. So you can see the power of this deck. Now for the third match, I'm playing against Tri-Brigade branded. He tried to summon Cat, use that, but can still combo with the Fractal. Gets his level Link 4 on board, searches his Birdie, uh, gets to some more stuff here. So he has a pretty strong board here. I couldn't really activate anything. I have to do swim, but he kind of not the strongest board. We know, of course, of the revolt. Trying to thin out my deck at this point, get Toy Tank to grave. Here I tried to see if he tried to bait out the revolt, so he goes for it and will banish one card, which gonna be the Druid's Realm, I think. He adds card, but I had the header, which makes a lot of things easier for me here. You know what, my attack, which was fine. I could still do my stuff. I have Magnamud. I turn him into my Lubellion, get my Herald back, go for Shangwing, which allows me then, of course, to banish his stuff. And then I can attack over his card, go for my IP, and now I have SP ready. Go for SP, banishes Curious, as well as Magnamud effect, utilizing this. My opponent couldn't do too much. I activate Saronir here, which allows me to activate Chengrin in the end phase, and this way I get to banish more stuff, Lubellion. And at this point, I don't think my opponent could do anything. I summon even his monster, which banishes his fusion again. And yeah, this part negate for game here. This match is against Evil Eye. My opponent starts pretty decently. If I remember correctly, I think he gets a pretty good board at the end. Have to quickly see. He should have everything. I'm not quite sure. He has his Link and his and the Cerizel, and he double equips. So we have to see if I can even beat this. I had my Bestial access, which was pretty good. Get a little bit of advantage here. Try get him to trigger his effects, which was very good. I get my 2 toy cards. Don't have very much at this point. So uh, didn't have any board presence here, but I had toy box that which could protect me technically. Rebranded was pretty good. It gives me my Magnum Surge. He destroys it, but his monster got pretty strong at this point. He goes for the DDD, but I could summon my Druid from hand, of course. He bounces back to hand. I destroy his equip, and I destroy his DDD with Toy Box, which then allows me to summon Soldier, and that surges me my Serpent. Both at now nearly enough life, but he cannot be targeted really, and I need to find a way to get around it. So I go Magnamut, he pops it again, which is too early in my opinion. I summon Druid at this point. Druid target this Link, get rid of it, get my Beast, pop his back row with Beast. Yeah, using regain. Don't go fight Daigusto because I needed something to further advance my combos. I created a little bit of space for me, so I go for SP Little Knight because I cannot target his monster. I get back my regain. I had to discard a card. Use Dual Swarm to banish his stuff again. He pops it. He wants to get back a card, but I had Skullmeister, and then here they decided to banish both my cards and shuffle my SP back to my hand, back to my deck, and because I thought getting the extra card it would be essential. I can protect myself by using Toy Box, which special summons my soldier. Now with Beast, I can pop his back rows, one of his equips at least. I mean, I go for Souls, set another card here as well, go for SP, banishes second equip here. Swords lets me draw 2 cards. I get to normal summon. I pop his last card and go for Shengwing because I couldn't attack anymore. I go for a Palooza, Saronir into a Palooza, and here basically I win. Now, this game I play against Labyrinth, and my opponent gets to start set 5, activate card of the my sorry. And I had the Ash luckily. I tried to publish Druma, this backward with Herald, but didn't work out too well. He pops my souls, which kind of sad, and he pops my tank, so my box, which makes very hard. But I had another Ash, so we are in a grindy situation right now. He activates his Supreme King trap, which is very strong. He gets his 4K body. I couldn't do much because I had no odds to it at the time. Here I get Druid's Realm. He negates my Lubellion summon, but I get rid of his fusion still and get my tank. And here tank, we pause a minute. I think this is oh, this is a very interesting play. I think I did it only once. Here where I summoned Coral Dragon and utilized my Ghost Ogre to turn into my Herald, which then could turn into my Baronne to negate. And this allows me to get 2 cards. First of all, I get the Illusion to hand, and I get a back row, which was the Soldier. Soldier, of course, gives me back my Toy Box. And with Toy Box and Illusion in hand, I, of course, get to draw 2 more cards later on, but he was already dead. So that was pretty nice play, I think. This is the second to last replay I want to show against Voiceless Voice. Here he starts with Nadir Servant, or it was Voiceless Voice with Dogmatica here. I could utilize, of course, the Maximus as well in this scenario and could protect my Endless Destruction by banishing it with Saronia, of course, in this scenario. He shuffled back my Saronia with his Edignista, could get his Skull Guardian with his low on the field, and had Survivor, so I was in a pretty bad spot already. But he let go through my toy box. I got the access to swords in this case, activate regained, um, because I had Saronia. Saronia not in grave, if I'm right. But I could summon Duiswam, which he lets go through. I go for Linkkuriboh into SP to banish his spell, which he of course then negates with his Skull Guardian. I got access to Herald, which allows me to go to Sparta, but he can negate it, and I go for Baguska in this case. He gets the trap, which is of course very annoying for me, because I cannot play. And I think he did a mistake by putting Baguska back to attack. I should have waited, but he could pop the Baguska technically as well. So I go for IP. He summons the Survivors. I get um, wants to special summon the Survivors, negates the Ash. I go for my SP, which then I can get back. Go for Chaos Angel, banish finally the spell, run over his ritual, but he gets the spell back. This time he gets it as well. I go back get back my Druisra. I cannot be destroyed by battle since I used light and darks, but he had the trap, which I tried to destroy, but it didn't work because he still had the negate. But I could get rid of his fusion by sacrificing my imperm, but didn't really help out too much. But I could buy some time, I could say so. I activate Toybox again, setting reader again 2 cards. Get my illusion souls on board again, getting 2 more monsters here as well. Magnumwood, doing my stuff, get Chaos Angel back. Go for SP Little Knight again. He negates it in this point. Ashes my Chaos Space. Chaos Space added back my Entis. Sending Entis to grave to pop the spell finally. Go for Zula, my Samurai, which gets banished. When I target this monster, he negates it. Okay, cannot do much. But I had Drake here. I can destroy his monster with Toy Box, which makes the rest very easy. I have Lubellion and Drake and have double regained, so nothing really can hurt me. And he had double Nibiru at the end. And this is the final video and replay, because this is one of the best things I've seen, or not the best, but someone copied my deck and I had to play against him. And we will see what happens actually. I'll show you what happens. So I start with regained and pass. So I really had nothing in hand. He tries to go for the combo, but luckily I had Ghost Ogre for his toy box, so that was a thing. I could get a draw here. He goes enters on my regained, but I had Skullmeister for that, because I knew that the regained gonna be very crucial at this point. I activate Illusion, he ashes, then I activate Druisware and banish my Skullmeister to draw a card. He gets to draw 2 cards instead. I go for SP Little Knight here. I think I don't had Chaos Angel in the deck at that moment, else I would have gone probably for Chaos Angel. Actually, I could check quickly. I think, yeah, that's the version where I didn't have Chaos Angel yet, but then he kind of gave up because regained and SP was pretty strong here as well, and I was getting too much advantage. I hope you can try out the deck as well, but the ban is already out, so a little bit will change, and I hope I get it to work in a way where it's still as viable, because Baronne was pretty strong, of course, being able to protect stuff and also getting rid of stuff. And being Linkkuriboh was pretty vital for, I would say, maybe also rogue matchups, but you could dodge, of course, Soul's effect, um, or a Imperm or Vela on like Souls by dodging it with Linkkuriboh, or you can even under skill drain use Souls, which is very strong then. Please tell me what you think about this deck. I have to say I loved it. I wanted to play at locals, but it will probably not be possible anymore, except we get all the cards back. But I doubt that Baronne and Linkkuriboh will be back so soon. And thanks to for watching, and like the video if you really liked it, of course. And leave a comment as well, so I know what you guys think about this. Thanks for watching.